This is an interesting video. Do you think pros are cheating?
Think they were just good for this event, or do you think that there's something a little bit untoward that's happened here?
Personally, I think that they were cheating like 400%.
I don't see it on my friends.
Did Emilio just get back banned?
Well, it's only showing me 5 people.
Wish I could shoot like this.
And Jason all dropping. He'll get the fault as well. Great work from Forsaken.
Of course, flusha.
Of course, who cheater? Oh, flusha. Flusha's at the front page.
Professional CSGO has been around since the beginning of the game. Players dedicate countless hours to learning, improving, and mastering the game which they were destined to play. But you know what else has been around since the beginning of Counter-Strike? Cheating. Countless cheats over the years have come and gone to give players a competitive edge over their opponents. When you mix the professional CSGO scene with cheating, you can start to uncover some truly interesting stories of player scandals. Some have been accused and risen above.
Extremely blatant lock, boys.
He's got to go back. Stewie's on his own, but look at the time. Look at the time. There's 7 seconds to plant the bomb. They're trying to build pyramids, but there's no more.
I remember watching this live.
Stewie's walking around. We're going to overtime.
While others have sunk with it. Today, we will uncover some of these stories, and I'll give my opinion on them as a CSGO cheater. Robin Flusha Ronquist started playing professional CSGO a little bit after the game's initial release. He was signed to Fnatic in late 2013, and in that time managed to secure 3 major titles until he was benched by Fnatic and later signed to Cloud9. Flusha didn't last long on the C9 roster, and after an extended period of inactivity, moved back over to Fnatic in early 2021. He bounced between a few teams yet again, and is now playing for Eyeballers, a team he and JW revived after 14 years of inactivity. At the peak of Flusha's career, he was one of the most notorious players in the CS scene, ranking top 10 in the world for 3 consecutive years and winning 3 majors in the process. People started noticing that Flusha would hit insane shots that nobody had ever seen before. Because of these events, he was nicknamed Senor Vac. He even fully embraced this persona by walking on stage at ESL 1 Cologne 2017 in his Senor Vac jersey. He also said things like this.
Would you ever get a knife? I probably won't. I don't want to lose money when I get backbanned.
With all that being said, Flusha is a player with over 12,000 hours in CSGO, along with thousands of hours in other developments of the game. I don't think Flusha is cheating personally. I think he's just so good that our tiny brains cannot comprehend his plays.
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
Coming in, do you feel like he is going to be that difference maker in terms
Monacy, I always knew he cheated, man.
I think he definitely has the potential to be the difference maker. I think everyone who's
Mini
seen
simple.
the Academy League, everyone who's seen him stream, or everyone who's been, good enough to go in and watch one of his demos, can see that his natural flair for the game is unheard of. He's only 16 years of age, and he's playing Counter-Strike at a very high level.
A very high level.
Finds the timing, 8 seconds, if he can drop the bomb, it'd be everything, but it travels into the site. 1-on-2 from Odyssey now.
It's sacrificial. Gives his position away. He wants Odyssey's aim gone. But this man, the Shepherd staff takes down the GOAT, and he takes Simple out of the round to give it to G2.
That's
Ilya
crazy.
Monacy Ozpov had a very late start to the professional CSGO scene, starting off on a team called New Balls in July 2019. Monacy also played for S Gaming for about a month before getting picked up by Navi Jr. for a 2-week trial. Monacy joined the main roster of Navi Jr. in early 2020 and played there until December of 2021. He was then picked up by G2, where he currently plays today. Although Monacy is still considered a rookie in Tier 1 Counter-Strike, he has managed to shock the world with his amazing performances in the server, being considered one of the best players in 2022. With a combination of his incredible mechanics and young age, some have started to question the legitimacy of his plays. To me personally, there's only one Monacy clip that I've questioned, his 1v4 clutch against MIBR.
Get the 1 kill there. Good little double for Bierri, and might as well have been a triple there. Monacy is in a lot of trouble. He no-scopes one of them. He keeps going. 10 seconds. He fakes the bomb, spins around, takes down Woody, and now he's on the hunt, running up close and personal. Oh, what a flick! He doesn't have the time for the
Surely.
No, he
Just
can't
give
do
it
it,
to
I
him.
think. Oh,
Yes!
how is that possible? He still could have the shot. Oh, and there it is. One of the best clutches we've seen in a long
The thing I want you to focus on is the last kill. Notice how where m0NESY shoots is not where the enemy is. In CSGO cheats, this is called backtrack. Basically, you can shoot where the enemy was, depending on how much time you put on the backtrack. There's only one thing that blows this argument out of the water. The game was being played online, and higher ping can often cause something that looks like backtrack. And besides, can we really call somebody a cheater when they've spent more than 10% of their life on CSGO? He also found a smoke bug that had been in the game for years, but nobody knew about before. Based on the small amount of evidence against m0NESY and the obvious dedication he has to the game, I do not think that m0NESY is cheating. Were irrelevant would be an understatement, as none of them had even come close to reaching Tier 1 CSGO. Yet somehow, Akuma found themselves qualifying for Epic CIS League Spring 2021, where they'd be facing off against some of the best teams in the world at the time. They managed to climb the ranks of the tournament by beating some fairly unknown CSGO teams, and eventually found themselves in an impossible scenario. On May 25th, 2021, Akuma was going to face the number 2 team in the world, Na'Vi. As the match started, people were ready to see an absolute slaughter, but I don't think this is what they expected.
Акума на домик на размене, потому что там 2 звездочки, погибает еще и Перфи. Цель великолепно отрабатывает, тут последний. Роет Элик в лицо, правда! Мультипараллельной вселенной. Вид успевает уйти за Флэт, Ньюс добирает 1-1, Саша! Но первого забрал, второго не получается. Джеки, откуда Джеки, если было не получится? Забрать Нави это могут сделать. Забирать Сайку еще одного на простреле. Слева, не могут. Но это... Забит Сайку, закрывает оппонента на краю. Второго закрывает Дергис!
Jesus.
After the Na'Vi match was over, suspicion started to rise about Akuma, but they didn't slow down immediately. They went on to smash Virtus Pro 2-0 before falling off the ladder and losing to Gambit, then VP again to close out the tournament. Despite the losses at the end of the competition, Akuma still managed to secure 3rd place and a $6,000 prize. Evidence started stacking up against Akuma, and videos started popping up showing proof of the team cheating. I would like to go through some of my favorite clips that I think prove that they were cheating. I also want to remind you that there was no proper anti-cheat in place for the event. In a game against 1win, Sergey finds himself in a 1v3 situation. He's able to take down the first enemy cleanly, but notice how he looks to the top right-hand side of his screen. It looks to me that he's checking his radar. But why would you need to check your radar when you're the only player alive on your team? Furthermore, why would you be looking at your radar when swinging an angle? He does this exact thing 2 times in the clip. Moving on to the second clip,
that was a little
Psycho is
sketchy.
up against Electronic and Perfecto on Catwalk. Na'Vi sets up for a run boost, but it fails, and Electronic peeks through the smoke for a second, long enough to get Psycho's attention, then falls back for cover in the smoke. Electronic jumps in the smoke, and Psycho's crosshair moves upward to match the jump. This could be easily debunked very simply, as there's a bug in the game which sometimes allows you to see an enemy through a smoke. But we don't know what Psycho saw on his screen, so this clip remains a mystery. This is the final clip I'll be looking at. Sensei is opping in the middle of A site when he looks up at his radar, then adjusts his crosshair to kill Shiro on stairs. He then rotates to CT while again looking at his radar, then seems to focus up on the game when Hobbit starts getting close. He checks his radar once again before missing a shot on Inters. Sensei backs up and throws a flashbang, and takes a look at his radar 3 times over. Sensei pushes
This
forward
guy's just
and
checking his minimap and he's aware of where his
10 days
teammates are.
after the event,
And then when he's peeking the hard part of CT where he knows somebody can be, he's into his monitor, you know?
I thought they were stream sniping. That's what it was. Yeah, they got caught with that. Yeah.
Who did?
Those guys you're watching right now. Wait.
Which guys? The guys on the left or the right? Oh, Akuma. Really?
But the video of the guy you're watching, every time he looks at the map, I'm like, dude, that's exactly what it looks like when I look at the map. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looked to me like he's looking at his radar.
Well, that guy jumping, you can hear him jump.
Alright, what do we got here? 11-something minutes, something like that. That's about right. We can finish this
Time is
video.
over. Sensei pushes forward and is killed by Inters. 10 days after the event was over, ESIC opened an investigation against Akuma for alleged event integrity breaches. ESIC was limited in their investigation because Epic, the event organizer, is not a member of ESIC. Regardless of these limitations, ESIC made a referral to Valve which included evidence of possible betting fraud. Later, more information came out that the Project X CEO placed bets on games played by his team. He also bet on an Akuma CIS RMR game. Based on the evidence presented, I can say with 100% certainty that Akuma was cheating during this tournament.
Allegedly.
Chaos Esports Club, formerly known as Digital Chaos and Chaos, was originally created as a Dota 2 team in August 2015. Chaos EC made the switch over to Counter-Strike in May 2018 after signing the Inouye roster. Over the next 2 years, the Chaos EC roster switched up quite a bit before ending up on the lineup that we're interested in. The roster we'll be paying attention to is the June 2020 roster with Vanity, Janji, Zeppa, Leaf, and MCE, who is their coach and a stand-in for Steel at the time. And if you're wondering, yes, it was that Steel. The scandal started off when Chaos EC went up against MIBR at CS Summit 6, which was an online event hosted by Beyond the Summit. Chaos EC ended up beating MIBR 16-6 on Overpass, only for MIBR to catch up on the second map, winning 16-8 on Dust 2. It all came down to the third map, Inferno. MIBR was down 14-15, and they were able to clutch up and push the game into overtime. However, they couldn't hold down their opponents, and Chaos EC ended up winning the game 19-7 in OT2, consequentially winning the match. It didn't take long for people to start making videos about how Chaos EC was cheating in this match against MIBR.
Hey, that's me!
There are a lot of clips people use to accuse Chaos EC of cheating, so we're going to go through a few of them. Leaf kills the player on Moto and flicks over to backside, seeming to lock onto Fur, who is Arches. Backside is a pretty common spot for somebody to be
Don't laugh, but these are mini ice creams. I got two of them.
When you break the scenario down, however, it starts to get a little confusing. Before first contact, it was already a 4v4, meaning MIBR most likely had a 2-2 split between each bomb site. Zeppa takes down the pit player, TRK, and Leaf kills the Arch player, Taco. Eliminating those two players should mean that the site is clear. Leaf may have not realized this at the moment and acted out of pure instinct. It was also a save round for MIBR, so stacking the site was also something to consider for Leaf. Although this does look suspicious, I don't think there's enough evidence to say for sure that this was cheated. In this clip, Leaf is spraying through Monster when he seems to flick up to Taco through the wall. After flicking up, he adjusts his crosshair back down to Monster and continues to tap fire the majority of his mag away. Now this is a clip that I'm very split between. The only defense I see for this clip is that Leaf was just adjusting his mouse after pulling down from the spray, and his mouse sensor was so close to his mouse pad that it registered it as a movement. Although Leaf does play with a normal sensitivity, I couldn't tell if that small amount of mouse movement would cause that much movement in game, so I copied Leaf's settings in CSGO and hopped into Overpass to find out. Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. I don't know if you saw it right there, but I sprayed down, I'm off, I want to readjust, I come back up, and when I'm back in place to where I would normally be, I'm right about here. So it's a possibility that he ran out of mouse pad and wanted to come back up, and when he came back up off the spray, he ended up here. But the movement was so clean and so quick that I don't know, man. It's weird. It's definitely weird. But can I say that he's cheating? I really don't think so. On the same round as the previous clip, we are again looking at Leaf entry fragging onto B site. He runs up and seems to lock onto Fur through the wall, eventually kills him, then flicks over to the enemy Heaven, who is covered in a smoke. Personally, this seems completely legit to me. Leaf gets the info on at least one in pit and positions his crosshair for that area. He spots the shadow of Fur and predicts where he is based on that shadow. Leaf then sees a flash come out of Heaven and flicks over to see if TRK would push through the Heaven smoke. TRK doesn't, and Leaf turns to avoid the flash and looks back at Heaven for the eventual push. You may have realized by now that all of these clips that I've shown you were done by the same person, Leaf. The reason for that is the clips against other members of the team are just completely dumb and don't prove anything at all. I'll show some of those to you now.
Single pistol eagle round on this half because they lost the second.
Fire.
Peaks.
Fire.
211 now. 200 IQ smoke, or is it?
Pick on Leaf, and it's all to Vanity now. A 1 versus 3. He's got the op in hand.
Looking through all the evidence I've seen, I have to say I do not believe that Chaos EC was cheating during this match against MIBR. There are other matches with other weird clips, so if you want to see a part 2 to this video, let me know in the comment section down below.
Oh, did this guy get back?
Emilio Mako started playing professional Counter-Strike on August 17, 2010 with a team called ICSU, also known as I Can See You. He made the switch over to Global Offensive in late 2012, joining a number of different lineups, but only staying for a short period of time on each team. In September of 2014, Amelia joined Team Property, joining a new group of faces once again. We'll move right over to the interesting bit of Emilio's story.
Baz, 50 cal, thanks brother man.
Playing in
Good to see you, sir. What's up, man?
Season 3, losing their opening match against Fnatic 16-5 in the group stage of the event. Team Property went on to beat Epsilon in a best-of-3 elimination match to keep themselves in the tournament. Then, on October 9th, 2014, Team Property was going up against Hellraisers in a decider match for position in the playoffs. The match started off normally, with Team Property getting an early 3-0
I can't be the same Zed.
Hellraisers started to build a bit of steam, winning a few rounds to tie up the game 4-4, before Team Property started to take off once again. The score read 4-7 when the unthinkable happened live during an official match.
Simple was playing too? Fuck? Simple played with Markelov?
Did Emilio just get back banned?
What?
Team Property ended up forfeiting the match, subsequently letting Hellraisers advance to the playoffs of the tournament. It's safe to say that everybody was quite confused when it came to this situation.
Now, you know what makes me smile is that Joachim, who's the tournament organizer, he's gonna have to look for his rule set and see, do we have a rule to find out?
That was the set from 1.6. No shit, it was.
2 days,
Oh.
Fragbite Masters came out with a
Damn.
statement explaining the ruling on Emilio and Team Property. They decided to disqualify Team Property from the tournament and ban Emilio from all future tournaments hosted by Fragbite Masters. Emilio also was kicked from Team Property and banned from all Valve-sponsored events. Although Emilio had hinted that his friend used his account and may have been cheating on it back in October of 2014, Emilio later admitted in February of 2015 that he was using cheats in matchmaking. He was also adamant about being completely clean during official matches, stating that he cheated only in matchmaking. Emilio created a new Steam account on October 12, 2014, only 3 days after being VAC banned, and continues to play casual CSGO today. He did try to get back into professional CSGO, joining Dream Chasers in 2015 and playing with them until 2018, but never really achieved anything incredible during that time. Sometime after the match against Hellraisers, Emilio's VAC ban got lifted, but the activity on the account has stood still since the day of the ban. This is an interesting case, and in result, an interesting conclusion. There's no doubt that Amelia in one way or another is a cheater, but I do not think Emilio has ever cheated in an official CSGO match. Curiosity can get the best of us, and anyone can dive into the CSGO cheating scene, even professional CSGO players. Now, I know what you're probably thinking.
Notorious
Isn't it
one.
already proven that Forsaken cheated? Well, to answer your question, yes, he was definitely cheating during this event, but it's still one of the most famous stories of cheating in professional CSGO, and I feel like I had to mention it in the video. Nikhil Forsaken Kamawat started off his professional CSGO career in 2017, playing on a team called Shooting Monkeys. It's safe to say Forsaken didn't have the best track record coming into professional CSGO, as he had previous cheating scandals. Team Ayati even stated that his first Steam account had 2 VAC bans on record. It's also good to note that Indian CSGO was not even close to being a developed region in the game. Nonetheless, Optic tried to break into the Indian market in June of 2018, announcing Optic India. They hosted tryouts for the team, and thousands of players flocked to try to get a spot on the revolutionary roster. After all was said and done, the 5 players picked for the team were Antidote, Ivan, Marzil, Formless, and Forsaken. Now that the team was together,
Feels so bad that for the other guys, man, because I don't think it I don't think the opportunity was still there afterward.
Where the now infamous Forsaken would find himself at a dead end. On October 19, 2018, Optic India was going to verse Revolution in a best-of-3 elimination match. The first map was a strong start for Optic India, beating Revolution 16-7 on Inferno. Forsaken seemed to have a slower game, only netting 17 kills, but still not doing terribly. We don't start to see Forsaken's real form until we head over to the second map, Cash.
Ah! You guys see that?
Split towards bomb site, so they react accordingly. Forsaken will pop flash into main. Then he's gonna
Jesus,
get
bro.
Crazy Guy Fog and Jason all dropping. He'll get the fourth.
And he's got fucking seriously good
Take the site. Luckily, there is a
whips.
hole in the smoke, so Forsaken's gonna get
Oh, that's the most blatant looking like aimbot ever. He knew right there. He probably Yep.
To the 2v2. Entry into the B bomb, so it doesn't go well. Looks like it will not. Well, that's a very long
Crazy spray there from Forsaken, but he manages to make it.
Before the 20th round of the game, Optic India's Marzil called for a technical pause to the match because of an issue with his monitor. The admins walked right by Marzil and moved over to Forsaken. Forsaken then minimized CSGO.
I thought they were walking over to him like, yeah, I'm on 60 hertz and shit, man. What the fuck's going on here? They walk right by you, straight to your boy.
As it happens, the
They don't even
admins had
acknowledge
already
you.
found an out-of-place file on Forsaken's PC and thought the technical pause was a good time to investigate the issue. Marzil, who is sitting right next to Forsaken,
Not this dead game again. Don't say that.
Score Esports the following.
So he goes to that folder and then he opens that file. And I distinctly remember around 3 words, which was have fun and hack or something on those lines.
And this is where we can see the famous clip of Forsaken trying to push away the admin from the keyboard. The match was stopped and Optic India was disqualified from the tournament. The same day, Optic India disbanded, practically killing the Indian CSGO scene with it. Later, on September 21st, 2019...
Imagine being the reason the
Forsaken
CSGO
slapped the
scene
back ban
didn't
on his
get
account.
its like
it is unknown if this
big
ban
push
is the
in your
CSGO
your
or
area.
game.
You know what I mean? Like
All the
everybody that
power
you've ever
to push
played
it to
Counter-Strike
Morty.
with, like
I
you
would
took
really
that
appreciate it a
opportunity
lot
away
if you
from
shared
them or
the
made it
video
harder.
around,
You know what I
even
mean?
if that's
The whole
something you
country,
wouldn't
yeah.
normally do.
He couldn't handle the high level Counter-Strike.